Ladies and gentlemen, when you see this, when you encounter this moment, know beyond a shadow of a doubt that God is about to change your life forever. There are times in our lives when everything seems dark, when the road is uncertain and we feel as though the weight of the world is pressing down upon us. But it is in these very moments that God is preparing to unleash His power in ways that will astonish you, in ways you never imagined. He is about to step into your life in such a way that you will never be the same again. The darkness that surrounds you is not the end. It is the beginning of something greater, something more powerful than you have ever known. When you are standing at the edge of despair, when everything you've known seems to be crumbling, that is the moment when God is positioning you for a divine breakthrough. It's not a coincidence that you're feeling the weight of things right now. It's not by chance that you're struggling. God, in His infinite wisdom and love, is preparing to step in and show you just how big He is. You may not see it in the moment, but trust me, your breakthrough is on the way. There are people today right now who are experiencing deep pain. You've suffered loss, you've faced rejection, and you've battled fear and uncertainty. But hear me, God is not done with you. He is not finished with your story. When you see the storm rising around you, don't be afraid. It's not the storm that will define you. It's the God who calms the storm who will define your life. That's when you need to stand strong. Because when you are at your lowest point, God is about to show up and show out in ways you cannot even begin to fathom. You may feel alone, abandoned, as though you are fighting a battle that no one else understands. You may feel like you're walking through the wilderness with no end in sight. But I tell you, my friend, the wilderness is not your final destination. The wilderness is the place where God refines you, where He strengthens you, where He prepares you for the promise He has for your life. You may not see it now, but I promise you, God has a plan for you, and it is a good plan. His plans for you are filled with hope, with peace, and with purpose. When you see that mountain in front of you, that obstacle that seems insurmountable, I want you to remember this. God is the one who moves mountains. What you see as impossible, God sees as an opportunity to show you His power. When you are faced with a challenge that feels too big, too overwhelming, it is then that God is about to step in and do the impossible. Don't shrink back in fear. Don't let the giants in your life intimidate you. The same God who parted the Red Sea, the same God who defeated Goliath with a boy and a stone, is the same God who is about to move in your life. And if you will trust Him, if you will walk in faith, He will do what only He can do. I want you to understand something today. Your struggle is not a sign that God has abandoned you. It is not a sign that God is about to show you His power in a way that will leave you in awe. When you see the struggle intensifying, when you feel like you are at your breaking point, don't give up. Don't quit. You are on the verge of your breakthrough. It is always darkest just before the dawn. And I'm telling you, the dawn is coming. When you face opposition, when you feel the resistance from every direction, it is a sign that God is about to elevate you. It is a sign that God is about to do something in your life that will leave you standing in awe of His greatness. Don't be discouraged when you face resistance. Don't be dismayed when things don't go the way you expect. God is at work. Even when you can't see it, even when you don't feel it, He is moving behind the scenes, orchestrating everything to bring you to the place where He wants you to be. Trust Him, because when you see the opposition, know that victory is on the way. Let me tell you something. The bigger the battle, the greater the blessing. The greater the struggle, the greater the glory. It may not make sense to you now, but I promise you, God is positioning you for a blessing that will be greater than anything you've ever experienced. When you see the trial, when you see the difficulty, know that God is about to bless you in ways you can't imagine. It may not come in the form you expect, but it will come, and it will be better than you could ever hope for. Some of you may be asking, why am I going through this? Why do I have to suffer like this? I understand that question. I know what it feels like to wonder why. But I want you to hear this today. God uses your suffering for a greater purpose. God uses your pain to shape you, to refine you, to build your character. Your pain is not wasted. It is not pointless. God is using it to prepare you for something greater. When you see the trial, know that God is preparing you for the victory. The victory may not come immediately, but I promise you, it is coming. And when it comes, it will be worth every moment of suffering. I know there are some of you today who feel like you're running on empty. You're tired, you're weary, and you're wondering how much more you can take. But I want you to know that God is your strength. He is the one who sustains you. When you feel weak, He is strong. When you feel like you can't go on, He will carry you. And if you will trust Him, if you will lean on Him, He will renew your strength. He will give you the endurance you need to keep going. You are not alone. You are not abandoned. God is with you, and He will never leave you. When you see the blessing that is on the horizon, when you feel the shift in the atmosphere, when you sense that something is about to change, I want you to stand up and praise God for what is to come. Praise Him for what He has already done. Praise Him for what He is doing right now, even when you can't see it. Praise Him in the storm. Praise Him in the struggle. And praise Him for the victory that is coming. God is faithful, and His promises are true. I know that some of you are facing challenges that seem insurmountable. You may be dealing with financial difficulties, with health issues, with broken relationships, with fear and anxiety. But I tell you today, God is bigger than all of it. He is bigger than your problems. He is bigger than your struggles. And He is bigger than your fears. He is the God who makes a way when there is no way. He is the God who heals the brokenhearted and sets the captives free. He is the God who turns mourning into dancing and joy into sorrow. And if you will trust Him, if you will believe in Him, He will change your life in ways you never imagined. When you see the storm, when you see the trouble, when you see the challenge ahead, know this. It is a sign that God is about to do something miraculous in your life. It is a sign that He is getting ready to show you His power, His provision, and His faithfulness in ways you've never known before. So don't be afraid. Don't shrink back. Step forward in faith, because when you see this, when you see the storm, the struggle, the resistance, know that God is about to change your life forever. This is your moment. This is your time. You are not here by accident. God has brought you to this place for a reason. He has a plan for you, a plan to prosper you, to give you a future and a hope. When you see this, when you see the challenge, when you feel the pressure, know that God is about to reveal His glory in your life. And when He does, you will never be the same. Trust Him and watch what He will do. He is faithful. He is powerful. And He is on your side. So stand strong, my friend, and get ready. Your breakthrough is coming, and it's going to be greater than you ever imagined. When you see this, understand that it is not by chance. It is not a random occurrence. It is a divine moment. You may have been walking through valleys, struggling against circumstances, feeling overwhelmed by the weight of it all. But let me tell you something. God is sovereign over every detail of your life. Nothing has caught Him off guard. Nothing has escaped His attention. The challenges you're facing right now, the battle you're fighting, it is part of His greater purpose for your life. And right now, God is positioning you for something that will leave you in awe of His greatness. Don't think for a moment that your suffering is a sign of God's absence. No, my friend, your suffering is a testimony to the fact that you are being prepared for a powerful move of God. It's a divine appointment that is coming, and it's coming at the perfect time. When you see the struggle intensifying, when the darkness seems to be growing deeper, remember that God is using this moment to refine you. He is shaping your character, strengthening your faith, and preparing you for a victory that will far surpass what you could ever have imagined. God never wastes anything. Not your pain, not your tears, not the mistakes you've made, or the hardships you've endured. Every moment is being used by God to mold you into the person He's called you to be. So don't despise the process. Don't resent the difficulty. Embrace it, because it is in the refining fire that you become stronger. It is in the wilderness that you learn to trust. It is in the storm that you learn the depth of God's power to bring you through. When you see this, when you feel the weight of the burden pressing upon you, it is a sign that God is about to reveal His glory in your life. The struggle you're enduring is not the end of the story. It is the preparation for the victory that is on the horizon. And I want you to hear this today. Your victory will not be a small one. It will not be insignificant. The victory God has planned for you will be so grand, so extraordinary, that it will testify to His power in ways that the world cannot deny. I know there are those of you who are tempted to give up. The road has been long and you fought hard. You've prayed, you've cried out to God, and yet the breakthrough hasn't come. But I want to tell you today, don't stop praying. Don't stop believing. God is never late. His timing is always perfect. The breakthrough you've been waiting for is not just around the corner. It is just ahead of you. And it is going to be greater than you ever imagined. God is not a man that He should lie. His promises are true, and He is faithful to fulfill them. When you feel like you're standing alone, remember that God is with you. When you feel like you can't go on, remember that He will carry you. There is nothing in this world that can separate you from the love of God. Not your circumstances, not your mistakes, not your fears. And when God steps into your situation, things begin to change. When God speaks, mountains move. When God acts, the impossible becomes possible. So when you see the struggle intensify, when you feel the weight of the pressure bearing down on you, don't shrink back. Don't give in to fear. Stand tall, stand firm, because the God who spoke the universe into existence is on your side. He is working behind the scenes. He is moving in ways that you can't yet see, but He is preparing the path ahead of you. When you see this, know that it is God's signal that He is about to do something big, something that will shake the very foundations of your life. You may not understand it now, but you will. You will see that every step of the journey, every moment of the struggle was part of God's divine plan to get you to where He needs you to be. And when you arrive at that place, when you step into the promise God has for you, nothing will be able to shake your faith, because you will know without a doubt that the God who led you through the fire is the same God who will lead you to the victory. God is never intimidated by the obstacles in your life. He is never defeated by your challenges. He is the God of the impossible, the God who makes a way where there is no way. So when you face a challenge, when you encounter a problem that seems insurmountable, I want you to change your perspective. Don't focus on the size of the problem. Don't fixate on the mountain before you. Instead, focus on the greatness of your God. Because when you focus on Him, everything else fades into the background. Your mountain becomes a molehill. Your trial becomes a stepping stone to your victory. When you see this, when you see the storm intensifying, when you feel the pressure mounting, when the battle rages, know that you are right where God wants you to be. You are in the exact position for Him to move on your behalf. Your story is not over. This is not the end. This is the beginning of the most powerful chapter of your life. God is writing your story, and He is the author and the finisher. He will not leave you halfway. He will not abandon you in the middle of the battle. He is faithful to complete the work He has begun in you. There are some of you today who are battling with discouragement, with doubt, with questions that have not been answered. But I want to tell you this, even in the silence, God is working. Even in the waiting, God is moving. Even when you can't see it, God is orchestrating everything to bring about His perfect plan for your life. Trust Him, my friend. Trust that His plan is better than your plan. Trust that He knows what He is doing and that His ways are higher than your ways. And when you see this, when you witness the breakthrough, when you experience the victory, when you step into the blessing that God has prepared for you, you will look back and realize that the struggle was worth it. You will see that every tear, every moment of pain, every bit of hardship was worth it because it led you to the place where you could fully experience God's goodness. So I want you to hold fast to hope today. Hold fast to faith. God has not forgotten you. He is not finished with you. And when you see this, when you see the storm, when you see the challenge, when you feel the weight of the struggle, it is not the end. It is the moment when God is about to move. It is the moment when He is about to change your life forever. Stand firm, my friend. Trust in the promises of God and know that when you see this, God is getting ready to do something in your life that will leave you in awe of His greatness. And when He moves, no one will be able to deny that it was God. And it will be a testimony of His faithfulness that will encourage everyone around you. So don't be afraid of the storm. Don't fear the challenge. When you see this, know that God is about to change everything, and it will be for His glory and for your good. When you see this, remember that you are not abandoned in your struggle. There is a power at work in your life that is beyond your understanding, a divine hand that is guiding your every step. Even when the way seems unclear, God is never distant from His children. He is near, closer than your breath, closer than the very air you inhale. In the silence, in the pain, in the moments when you feel most alone, God is working on your behalf, orchestrating every detail, weaving together a story of victory, a story that will testify to His greatness. We often question why we must endure hardship, why God allows us to face trials. It's easy to wonder, why me, Lord? Why now? But I urge you to understand this. The trials you face are not a sign of God's displeasure with you. On the contrary, they are evidence of His trust in you. God allows the refining fires to come because He sees the potential in you. He sees the purpose in your pain. He knows that within you lies the strength, the faith, the resilience to emerge victorious on the other side. The pain you are enduring is not wasted. It is shaping you, molding you into the person you are destined to become. There is power in your struggle, my friend. When you feel that your strength is gone, when you feel as though you cannot take another step, that is when God's strength becomes most evident. That is when His grace is poured out in abundance. It is in your weakness that His power is perfected. It is in the moments of surrender, when you release your control, that God takes over and does what only He can do. Never underestimate the power of a surrendered heart. Now, never underestimate what God can do when you lay down your own plans, your own desires, and allow Him to take control. The moment you release your grip on what you think is best, God steps in and reveals a greater purpose, a higher calling, a more magnificent plan than you could ever have dreamed. When you see this, the trial intensifying, the road narrowing, the pressure mounting, it is a signal that God is about to do something extraordinary. He is preparing you for a miracle, and He is preparing you for something that will leave you in awe of His mighty power. When God begins to move in your life, He doesn't do things halfway. He doesn't work in small, insignificant ways. No, God is a God of abundance. When He blesses beyond measure. When He restores completely. When He heals to the fullest. So, when you see the storm intensifying, when you see the waves rising higher, know that God is preparing you for a blessing that is beyond your ability to imagine. You may be looking around today and wondering, how much longer can I endure this? How much longer must I wait? I know how difficult it can be to wait, to trust in a promise that has not yet been fulfilled. But I want you to hear me, my friend. God's timing is always perfect. His ways are not our ways, and His timing is not our timing. What we see as a delay is often God's way of preparing us for something greater. What we view as a setback is often God's way of positioning us for a divine comeback. I want you to hear this loud and clear. God is never late. He is never behind schedule. When you see the storm, when you feel the burden, when the situation seems impossible, trust that God is working behind the scenes. His hand is moving in ways that you cannot yet see. And He is preparing you for something that will not only change your life, but will also impact the lives of those around you. When you see this, when you feel the pressure mounting, when the road gets hard and the journey feels long, know that God is preparing you for a victory that will blow your mind. The very things that seem like obstacles today will be the stepping stones to the breakthrough you've been praying for. The things that have caused you pain will become the very tools God uses to elevate you. The wounds that have broken your heart will become the scars that testify to God's healing power. God is a master of redemption. He takes what was meant for evil and turns it around for good. He takes what seems broken and restores it into something beautiful. When you see the storm coming, when you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders, remember that God is about to turn it all around for His glory and for your good. What you see is a setback, and let me tell you this, when God moves, He moves with authority. He moves with power. There is no power greater than the power of God. No force in this world can stand against Him. So when you are facing opposition, when the world seems to be rising up against you, stand firm in the knowledge that the God you serve is greater than anything the enemy can throw at you. You are not fighting this battle alone. You are not standing in your own strength. You are standing in the strength of Almighty God. And that strength is unstoppable. When you see this, when the battle feels fierce, when the enemy seems relentless, know that God is raising up a standard in your life. He is positioning you for victory. And the victory He has for you is not just for you. It's for everyone who will witness it. Your testimony, your victory, your breakthrough will be a shining light to those who are still lost in darkness. It will be a beacon of hope to those who feel like giving up. When you stand strong in the face of adversity, when you trust God in the midst of your pain, you are becoming a living testimony to the power of God. So don't give up, my friend. Don't lose heart. When you see this, when you see the storm gathering, when you feel the pressure mounting, when the battle seems too much to bear, know that God is on the verge of doing something amazing in your life. His plans for you are not for harm, but for good. His plans are filled with hope, with promise, and with a future that is brighter than anything you can imagine. Hold on to your faith. Hold on to the promises of God. Because when you see this, when you see the trial, when you feel the weight of the struggle, remember it is not the end. It is only the beginning of what God is about to do in your life. And when He moves, everything changes. When He moves, there is no turning back. You are about to experience the greatest chapter of your life. And when it unfolds, you will stand in awe of the God who has been with you every step of the way. So stand strong, my friend, stand firm. And God is about to move. And when He does, it will be more magnificent than anything you could have ever dreamed. He is the God of the impossible, the God of miracles, and He is on the verge of doing something mighty in your life. Your breakthrough is coming, your victory is coming, and it will be greater than anything you have ever known. When you see this, understand that it is a sacred moment in your life. It is not simply a passing circumstance, but a divine appointment, a time that God has set apart just for you. It is a moment when heaven and earth collide, when your struggle becomes the backdrop for God's glory to be revealed in the most powerful way. Do not take this time lightly, my friend, because in these moments, God is doing something deep within you. He is preparing you for a destiny far beyond what you could ever have imagined. You see, it is easy to believe that the struggle is a sign of God's disfavor, that when things go wrong, God is punishing us. But let me tell you this today. The trials you face are not punishment, they are preparation. God is not out to break you. He is out to build you. He is not out to destroy you. He is out to refine you. It is in the furnace of affliction that your faith is tested, your character is strengthened, and your dependence on God is deepened. Every trial, every hardship is part of the process that God is using to transform you into the person He created you to be. When you see this, when the pressure is mounting, when everything seems to be falling apart, do not despair. Do not be afraid, for it is in the very storm that God will show you His power. It is in the midst of the fire that He will reveal His presence in ways you never thought possible. When you are at your lowest, when you are at the end of yourself, that is when you will experience God's strength in the most profound way. And it is in those moments that you will come to understand that God's love for you is not dependent on your circumstances, but on His unchanging nature. God is always at work, even when you cannot see it, even when it seems like He is silent. He is moving in the unseen, orchestrating events, setting things in motion. There is no such thing as coincidence with God. What you might think is an accident, a chance happening, is part of His sovereign plan. And while you may not fully understand it now, the time will come when you look back and see that every single moment, every single trial was woven into His perfect design for your life. When you see this, when you see God's hand moving behind the scenes, you'll be amazed at how perfectly everything fits together. But it takes faith to trust in that process. It takes faith to believe that even in your pain, God is working for your good. It takes faith to believe that even when the storm is raging, God is still in control. And it takes faith to know that when God is about to do something in your life, He will not do it halfway. He will not leave you hanging. He will complete the work He has started in you. There are some of you right now who are facing overwhelming obstacles. You are in the middle of a battle that seems insurmountable. The waves are crashing all around you, and you are wondering if you can make it through. I want to speak directly to you today. Keep going. Do not give up. You are closer to your breakthrough than you think. You are closer to the moment when God will step into your situation and turn it all around. It may look like you're sinking, it may feel like you're drowning, but remember, God's hand is reaching down to pull you up. You are not alone in this fight. You are not abandoned in your struggle. When you see this, know that it is a sign that God is about to change your life in ways you cannot yet fathom. You are on the brink of a divine shift, a spiritual awakening, a transformation that will leave you breathless. You may feel like you've been stuck in the same place for far too long, that the cycle of disappointment and discouragement will never end, but I am here to tell you God is not finished with you. His plans for you are greater than you can imagine, and they are unfolding right before your eyes. You see, sometimes the greatest blessings come after the greatest battles. Sometimes the most extraordinary breakthroughs happen after the most intense seasons of struggle. It is in the valley that we are prepared to climb the mountain. It is in the darkness that our eyes are open to the brilliance of God's light. And it is in the storm that we discover the depth of God's peace. When you are in the midst of the battle, remember that God is shaping you for something greater. He is preparing you for a victory that will glorify His name and testify to His power. The enemy may try to convince you that it is over, that you have been defeated, that your situation is beyond repair. But I want you to hear me today. God is the God of resurrection. He is the God who brings life to dead things. He is the God who calls forth things that are not as though they are. And when God steps into your situation, nothing is impossible. What seems dead in your life, whether it is a dream, a relationship, a hope, God can breathe life into it. What the enemy meant for evil, God will turn for good. When you see this, when you feel the pressure and the weight of the world bearing down on you, know that God is preparing you for something greater than you can see right now. He is positioning you for a victory that will shake the very foundation of your life. And when that victory comes, it will not just change your life, it will change the lives of everyone around you. Your testimony will be a beacon of hope to those who are still struggling. Your victory will be a living proof that God can take anyone, anywhere, and turn their situation around for His glory. So hold fast, my friend. Hold fast to your faith. When you see this, when you feel the storm, when you sense that God is about to do something in your life, know that He is working, He is moving, He is preparing you for a season of abundance, a season of breakthrough, a season of transformation. And when that season comes, you will stand in awe of the God who has never left you, the God who has been with you every step of the way. Trust in His timing. Trust in His ways. When you see this, know that your moment is coming. And when it arrives, you will know beyond a shadow of a doubt that God has been with you through every trial, every challenge, every moment of pain. And you will testify to the world that the God who brought you through is the same God who will take you to heights you never dreamed possible. When you see this, know that something extraordinary is about to take place in your life. It may not feel like it right now, and the world may not understand it. But I promise you this. God is on the move. He is stirring things behind the scenes that you cannot yet see. He is working in ways that are far beyond your ability to comprehend. And He is doing it with a precision and power that will astound you. You may be in a season of waiting. You may be feeling the weight of uncertainty pressing down on you, wondering if your prayers are even being heard. But let me tell you, my friend, God does not operate according to our timeline. His timing is perfect. Even when it feels like it's taking too long, He has never been late. When you see this, when you see things unraveling before your eyes, when you feel like you are running out of time, know that God's perfect plan is unfolding step by step, and you are exactly where you need to be. Every season of waiting is a season of preparation. Every moment of silence from heaven is a moment of divine orchestration. It is easy to become disheartened when things aren't happening the way we expected, when the doors we've knocked on seem to remain closed. But do not be discouraged, because when you see this, when you find yourself at the crossroads of doubt and faith, it is a sign that something greater is on the horizon. God is positioning you, preparing you for a divine elevation, for a breakthrough that will leave you in awe of His goodness and His power. I want you to grasp this truth today. God never wastes a moment. He never wastes a single tear. He never wastes a trial. Everything you have been through, every hardship, every heartache, every disappointment has been used by God to build you up for what's to come. He is not oblivious to your pain. He does not overlook your tears. He sees every single moment and is using it to forge you into a person of faith, a person of purpose, a person who is ready to carry out the destiny He has designed for you. When you see this, when you look around and feel the weight of your circumstances, I want you to remember God has always had a plan for your life. And that plan does not include defeat. It does not include failure. It does not include despair. His plan includes victory, restoration, and purpose. There is a destiny that He has placed on your life that no devil in hell can stop. When you see the obstacles rising in front of you, remember that God is using them to propel you forward. They are not walls meant to trap you, but stepping stones meant to elevate you to a place of greater blessing, greater influence, and greater impact. And let me tell you something about the power of God. It cannot be stopped. It cannot be hindered. There is no force on this earth, no circumstance, no person, no situation that can stand in the way of what God has ordained for your life. His power is absolute. His will is unstoppable. When you see this, when you face the giants in your life, remember that God has already given you the victory. You are not fighting for victory. You are fighting from victory. The battle has already been won. You are simply walking out the journey of seeing it manifest in your life. You might feel overwhelmed by the struggle. You might feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. But I want you to understand that God never gives you more than you can handle with His help. His strength is made perfect in your weakness. The moment you feel like you can't go any further, that is when God will step in with His supernatural power to carry you through. When you see this, when you feel the strain, when you feel like giving up, that is when God will give you the strength you never knew you had. And when He carries you, you will move in ways you never thought possible. There is power in your perseverance. There is power in your faith. There is power in your ability to keep going even when the road gets tough. And the reason there is power in that is because God is the one who is holding you up. He is the one who is empowering you. He is the one who is working in you and through you to bring about a testimony that will glorify His name and inspire others to believe in His power. When you see this, know that you are not just going through a difficult season. You are going through a transformation. You are being made into something new. God is not interested in keeping you where you are. He is interested in taking you higher. He is interested in growing you, strengthening you, and developing you into the person who can handle the blessings He has in store for you. And let me tell you, the blessings God has for you are not small. They are abundant. They are overflowing. They are beyond anything you could ask or think. But before God can pour out those blessings, He needs to prepare you to handle them. He needs to make sure you are ready, that your heart is right, that your character is strong, that your faith is unshakable. That is why sometimes it feels like the process is long and difficult. That is why sometimes it feels like you're being stretched beyond your limits. But I want you to hear me clearly today. God is doing something in you that is preparing you for something far greater than you can imagine. He is laying a foundation in your life that will support the great things He is about to do. When you see this, when you feel the weight of your circumstances bearing down on you, remember that it is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of something new. It is the moment when God is setting the stage for your breakthrough. It is the moment when He is about to turn the page to a new chapter in your life, a chapter filled with victory, filled with favor, filled with His glory. And when that chapter unfolds, when that breakthrough comes, you will look back and see that every moment of struggle, every moment of pain, every tear you shed was worth it. You will see that the God who has been with you all along was preparing you, strengthening you, equipping you for the life He has promised you. You will see that the very things that seem to work against you were the very tools God used to build you up. So do not fear, my friend. Do not be discouraged when you see this. When you see the storm, when you feel the weight of your burdens, know that God is at work. He is moving. He is preparing you for a victory that will exceed your expectations. He is preparing you for a life that is filled with His blessings, His favor, and His glory. And when it comes, you will know that you have been through the fire, but you have come out pure, refined, and ready to step into the future that God has planned for you. When you see this, understand that it is no accident. This is not just another season. This is a pivotal moment, a moment that will change the course of your life forever. God is speaking to you not in whispers, but in the roaring wind of His power. He is drawing you near, saying, "This is your time. This is your moment to rise." And when He calls you, you must respond. When He stirs your heart, you must answer with a faith that says, "Yes, Lord, I am ready." The truth is, too many people stand on the edge of greatness, paralyzed by fear. They see the door opening before them, but they hesitate, doubting whether they are truly worthy or capable of walking through. They see the storm raging in front of them and wonder if they should turn back. But I tell you today, it is precisely because of the storm that you are being called to step forward. It is precisely because of the challenges you are facing that God is ready to use you in a way you never thought possible. The storm is not your enemy. It is the vehicle through which God will move you into a new season of purpose and power. You must understand the greatness that God has for you is not something that can be earned. It is not something that can be manipulated or bargained for. It is a gift, and it comes through obedience. When you see this, when you feel the weight of your circumstances pressing down on you, know that God is using this moment to build something in you that cannot be built through comfort. He is forging in you a faith that will move mountains, a trust that will withstand the fiercest of storms. And when that faith is built, when you stand strong in His promises, you will begin to see your life shift in ways you could never have imagined. You will begin to see that all the pain, all the struggles, all the waiting were not in vain. God does not waste a single moment of your life. He uses every tear, every struggle, every setback for His glory. And when you see this, when you start to connect the dots, you will realize that God has been working behind the scenes, orchestrating every detail of your life to bring you to this moment of breakthrough. But there is one thing you must understand. The victory is not won in your own strength. The breakthrough will not come because of your own ability or effort. It will come because of God's power and His grace. You see, the battle you are facing is not yours to fight alone. It is not by might nor by power, but by His Spirit. It is His hand that will deliver you. It is His strength that will carry you. You may feel weak, you may feel tired, but it is in your weakness that God's strength is made perfect. You see, God is not waiting for you to have it all figured out. He is not waiting for you to have everything in order before He moves in your life. He is waiting for your surrender. When you surrender to His will, when you trust in His timing, when you step out in faith, that is when He will show up in ways that will leave you speechless. When you see this, when you finally let go of the need to control, when you give God complete access to your heart and your life, you will see Him move in ways that will astound you. The truth is, God is always in the business of changing lives. He is always in the business of transforming hearts. But the change does not happen from the outside in. It happens from the inside out. When you see this, when you understand that God is more concerned with your character than with your comfort, you will realize that the work He is doing in you is preparing you for something far greater than you could have planned for yourself. It is a work that will go deeper than surface-level blessings. A work that will reach into the very core of your being and change you from the inside out. And when that change happens, when that deep transformation takes place, you will begin to see the world differently. You will begin to see yourself differently. Because God's power is not just meant to change your circumstances. It is meant to change you. It is meant to elevate you to a higher place of understanding, the higher place of spiritual maturity. You will begin to walk in a confidence that is not your own, a peace that passes all understanding, a joy that is unshakable, because you will know that the God who has carried you this far will continue to lead you forward. When you see this, when you experience this kind of transformation, you will not be able to contain it. You will not be able to keep it to yourself. The world will see the change in you, and they will know that something is different. You will become a living testimony of God's power, grace, and love. And as you walk in this newness of life, you will be drawn to others who are struggling, who are searching for the same hope, the same peace, the same transformation, and God will use you to lead them to Him. You are not just called to receive God's blessings, you are called to be a vessel of His blessings. You are called to be a conduit of His power and love to those around you. When you see this, when you understand the depth of the calling that God has placed on your life, you will begin to live with purpose. You will begin to see every interaction, every moment as an opportunity to share His love and light with the world. You will no longer live for yourself. You will live for Him, knowing that the life He has given you is not your own, but is meant to bring glory to His name. But hear this, my friend. When God is about to change your life, the road will not always be smooth. There will be challenges. There will be battles, but the victory is guaranteed. The struggles are real, but the promises of God are more real. And when you see this, when you understand that the storms in your life are merely preparation for the victory that God has in store for you, you will be able to face whatever comes your way with confidence and peace, knowing that God is in control. So rise up, stand firm in the promises of God. And when you see this, when you see the signs that God is at work in your life, take hold of the moment. Step into the future that He has for you. Do not look back. Do not shrink back in fear. Step forward in faith, knowing that the best is yet to come. When you see this, when you witness the shift that God is bringing into your life, do not be deceived by the appearance of things. The world may tell you that it's too late, that the doors are closed, that there's no way forward. But I tell you today, God's timing is never late. It's perfect. The doors that are shut in your face are not closed by accident. They are closed because God is holding back what is not for you and making way for what He has prepared. When you see this, know that God is removing the obstacles that stand between you and your destiny. He is aligning your steps. And though you may not yet understand it, every path you have walked has led you to this moment. You might be asking, why now? Why this moment? And the answer is simple. God works in seasons, and He prepares His children for what is coming. What may feel like a delay is not a denial. No, my friend, it is divine preparation. He is making sure that when the blessing comes, you will be able to steward it with wisdom, humility, and grace. God is never in a rush, and He doesn't want us to be either. We must learn to wait on His timing, to trust in His process. And when you see this, when you understand that everything is being orchestrated for your good, you will no longer fret or worry. You will be able to rest in the confidence that God is working all things together for your benefit. But I want you to hear this. The change you are about to experience requires boldness. It requires action. Yes, God will do the heavy lifting, but He is calling you to take that first step. He is calling you to trust Him when everything around you says it's impossible. He is calling you to rise up in faith even when you can't see the end of the road. Faith isn't waiting for all the pieces to fall into place.